You see, there's something that happens in the intimate space between two people that can never be manufactured. No matter how practiced, how performative, or how perfectly choreographed the encounter might be, it's the kind of connection that transcends technique, timing, and even desire itself. It's not about what she does. It's about what she feels while doing it. A woman can mimic pleasure. She can act passion. She can simulate all the signs that culture has taught us to associate with satisfaction. But there's one thing she cannot fake: the way her body, her breath, her energy surrenders when she feels safe enough to love. That is something far more primal, far more honest than pleasure alone. When a woman truly loves you, her body no longer performs. It responds. The walls come down. Not just the physical ones, but the emotional, the psychological. The invisible barriers that so often guard the most tender parts of her. Love gives her permission to be unmasked. It's the difference between movement and meaning, between contact and connection. Because real intimacy isn't about how you touch her. It's about how you make her feel in the moments between touch. The silence, the glance, the unspoken understanding that she doesn't have to pretend. When she loves you, she stops managing your perception of her and starts trusting your presence with her. That's what you can't buy, force, or fake. This kind of authenticity in bed is not about lust. It's about belonging. It's about being seen, not as a body to be pleased, but as a person to be felt with. It's about the exquisite vulnerability of letting love, not performance, take the lead. So, when it happens, when she truly opens, not just her body but her being, know that it's not technique that got you there. It's trust. It's tenderness. It's love. The one thing that can't be imitated, only earned. There is a particular truth that lives in the space between love and desire, and it reveals itself most clearly in moments of unguarded intimacy. We live in a world that teaches women to perform affection long before they ever learn to experience it. From early on, she's conditioned to please, to anticipate, to mirror what she believes her partner wants to see. She learns that her value is often measured not by what she feels, but by what she gives, what she offers, what she allows. And so, many women become experts in performance, the art of appearing open while staying safe. But when she loves you, that performance dissolves. It's not an act anymore. It's a surrender that her whole being consents to. You can always sense the difference. When a woman is pretending, her body is present, but her soul is elsewhere. There's a slight delay in her response, a certain distance behind her eyes, a rhythm that's just a little too deliberate. She may move with you, but she isn't with you. She's managing the moment rather than inhabiting it. And the truth is, she can do it so well that many partners never notice. Because she's not doing it to deceive. She's doing it to survive. She's doing it to protect something fragile inside her that once trusted too easily and got hurt too deeply. But love changes everything. When she loves you, her defenses soften. The performance becomes unnecessary because your presence doesn't demand perfection. It invites honesty. It says, "You don't have to impress me. I just want you." That kind of love doesn't ask her to act. like she's feeling something. It allows her to feel without judgment. And when she feels, truly feels, her body becomes a language of its own. Every sigh, every stillness, every touch becomes unscripted, unrehearsed. It's in that authenticity that intimacy begins to exist. Real intimacy isn't about what two bodies can do together. It's about what two souls are willing to reveal in the same space. And the woman who loves you, not the one who's trying to keep you, not the one trying to please you, but the one who loves you, she will let you see what no one else gets to witness. She will show you the chaos and the calm of her inner world. She will let you into the places where she is not polished or perfect, the places that are wild and uncontained. Her pleasure, when it's real, isn't always loud or cinematic. Sometimes it's quiet, trembling deep. It's the kind of response that doesn't need to be displayed, it's lived. When she loves you, her pleasure isn't just physical, it's existential. It's the pleasure of being known, of being met without fear. That's something that can't be fabricated because it isn't about technique. It's about trust. It's the difference between release and surrender. Release can happen with anyone. Surrender only happens when she loves you. And there's something deeply human about that surrender. It's not about giving up control. It's about giving up the illusion that control is necessary. When she feels love, she doesn't need to hold herself together. She can fall apart safely. She can express the parts of herself that the world rarely allows. The wildness, the hunger, the ache, the tenderness that coexists with desire. Because love, for her, is not a weakness, it's an invitation to exist fully. But love doesn't always arrive gently. Sometimes it comes after years of pretending, after experiences that taught her to equate passion with danger, affection with obligation, vulnerability with pain. So when she finally finds someone she can love safely, the body remembers both fear and freedom. It takes time for her to unlearn the need to perform. It takes patience to build a space where she can be both erotic and emotional, where desire doesn't demand proof, where connection isn't a transaction. And when that space is built, you'll notice that her entire energy changes. There's a depth that wasn't there before, a sense of presence that can't be imitated. Her laughter is fuller. Her touch lingers. Her breath syncs with yours without trying. It's like the room itself changes temperature. Everything becomes more alive, more real, more human. It's not that she couldn't fake it before. She could. She probably did at some point. But she doesn't want to anymore. Because love has nothing to gain from pretending. When she loves you, her body stops performing and starts communicating. It tells the truth, sometimes softly, sometimes fiercely. It tells you when it feels safe, when it feels seen, when it feels cherished. And that truth is more erotic than anything else. There's a quiet kind of knowing that exists between two people who love each other deeply. You can't capture it in language, but you can feel it in the pauses. When she reaches for you without words, when she looks at you after rather than before, when she lets the silence stay instead of filling it. That's when you know. Because she's not trying to manage your experience of her anymore. She's just being with you, The irony is that what so many people chase in bed, intensity, performance, fantasy, are often substitutes for the very thing love gives freely: presence. When she loves you, presence becomes effortless. You don't have to orchestrate it. You just have to notice it. Because the kind of passion that grows out of love doesn't look like a scene. It looks like a moment that stretches beyond time. And if you're paying attention, you'll realize that her authenticity teaches you something about yourself too. It invites you to drop your own masks, your own need to perform or to please. Because when one person in the room stops pretending, it creates permission for the other to do the same. Suddenly, it's not about who's leading or following, who's giving or receiving. It's about mutual recognition. Two people, both unguarded, both real. That's the thing about love. It transforms sex from something you do into something you are. It's no longer about validation or conquest. It becomes an expression of shared humanity. And for a woman whose body has so often been a site of expectation, that transformation is profound. It's not just that she's making love to you. It's that she's becoming love with you. When she loves you, the tension between performance and pleasure disappears. She's not concerned with whether she's enough or whether she's doing it right. Those questions belong to fear, not to love. In love, she knows that the only thing she has to be is true, and truth in the bedroom is infinitely more erotic than perfection. You might notice that her movements become slower, more intentional. Not because she's calculating, but because she's feeling everything. She's not in her head anymore. She's in her body and in the moment. She's not trying to get anywhere. There's no destination, no peak to reach. There's just the experience unfolding naturally. Love does that. It removes the need for climax and replaces it with connection. And in that connection, something ancient awakens. Because for her, love and eroticism are not opposites. They are extensions of the same longing. And the longing to be seen, to be touched in a way that recognizes her whole self. Not just the part that looks beautiful in the light, but also the part that trembles in the dark. When she loves you, she allows that part to be visible. She lets you see her complexity, the tenderness and the fire, the strength and the softness. And you'll realize that what you're touching is not just skin. It's the story of her becoming. That's why it can't be faked. Because the body remembers what the heart resists. When she's pretending, something inside her stays guarded. When she's loving, everything opens. Her pleasure becomes a mirror of her trust. Her trust becomes a mirror of your presence. And together you create something that transcends both. In a world where intimacy is often reduced to performance, where love is confused with control and desire with validation, this kind of authenticity is revolutionary. It's rare. And when it happens, it humbles you. You realize that love isn't just about who you want. It's about how you make them feel in your presence. It's about creating a space where honesty feels safer than performance. When she loves you, her truth shows up in ways words can't hold. Maybe it's in the way she looks at you when you think she's not watching. Maybe it's in the way her voice softens when she says your name. Maybe it's in the way she lets her guard down without asking for reassurance. Those are the moments that can't be performed. They can only be lived, because love, in its purest form, doesn't need to impress. It doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. It doesn't need to be perfect to be beautiful. It simply needs to be real. And in that realness, you find the kind of connection that no performance could ever replicate. There's a beauty in the vulnerability of it, in knowing that what you're experiencing isn't guaranteed, isn't scripted, that it only exists because two people decided to meet each other honestly. And that honesty, that presence, becomes the most intoxicating thing of all. So when she loves you, and she lets you in, truly in, understand the sacredness of that moment. It's not just about pleasure. It's about recognition. It's about a body speaking the language of a heart that finally feels safe. And in that language, there are no lies, no roles, no expectations. There is only truth. And truth, when it's felt through love, is something you will never mistake for anything else. It vibrates differently. It breathes differently. It moves through both of you like something ancient and familiar. Something that feels less like discovery and more like remembering. Because that's what love does. It reminds us of who we are when we stop pretending. And so, if there's one truth to carry from all of this, it's that love, real love, is the one thing that strips away performance. You can't fake what the body knows to be true. You can imitate desire, you can mirror passion, you can even rehearse affection. But when a woman loves you, something far deeper takes place. Something that belongs to honesty, not to habit. It's the quiet power of being seen and still choosing to open. So never mistake performance for connection, or pleasure for intimacy. Because what happens when she truly loves you cannot be staged. It's the moment when her heart trusts your hands, when her soul decides it's safe to show up. That is not seduction. That is truth. And in a world so full of pretending, truth is the most erotic thing there is.